Hi, my name is Karen Lachlan. I'm a registered nurse living in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. The Live the Source multivitamin has had a profound impact on my life. From the age of 15 or 16, I have had bladder problems and needed to get up so frequently during the night to go to the bathroom. At the time, I did not realize that this was a serious situation. I had just gotten used to getting up. However, I was always tired from the sleepless nights and very exhausted. At about the age of 23, my symptoms got so bad that I sought out the help from my doctor. I was referred to a urologist and found out that I had a condition called interstitial cystitis, which is an inflammation of the lining of the bladder. The lining is scarred, ulcerated, and quite often bleeding. The interstitial cystitis is also known as PBS, or painful bladder syndrome. Some people refer to it as chronic pain syndrome as well. In research, I now know that this disease can affect between 3 and 8 million women in the US alone, and as many as 1 in 8 women, and many, many, many men as well. At the time of my diagnosis, I was prescribed a medication and was told I could be on this indefinitely. I don't take medications for anything, and I wasn't prescribed any medications for any other ailments. I'm a very healthy person. So being on this medication bothered me. I took it for a few months and then decided to stop taking it in order to start a family. I was told I could not be on it. So after 2 pregnancies and many years, my symptoms got significantly worse. They were completely out of control. I was up between 30 and 40 times a night. I would lay down, and every 10-15 minutes I would be up again going to the bathroom. It caused me so many sleepless nights. I was exhausted, had 2 small children, and found it very hard to function during the day and continue to work as a registered nurse. I was very active, very healthy, played a lot of sports. I couldn't function and continue to do all these things at the level that I enjoyed doing. I didn't want to take the medication, so I sought out an interstitial cystitis support group online to see if there was anything I can do on my own. The advice I was given was to stop drinking alcohol, caffeine, any carbonated beverages, anything citrus, which was the juices, fruits, tomatoes, certain vegetables, and certain meats and fishes. I eat a very healthy diet and found that a lot of these foods were already part of my healthy living, and was quite upset to find that all these healthy things were already part of my diet and wasn't changing my symptoms at all. I read a lot of books, I did a lot of research, I tried a lot of herbal concoctions that people have recommended to me, and nothing seemed to work. For years I continued to try naturals, and with no relief whatsoever. After a few years, I then chose to go to another specialist who sent me for a bladder distension, which helps to determine the cystitis, along with a biopsy of the inner lining of my bladder, and he said my condition had severely worsened from my previous test. At that time, he gave me 4 choices of treatment. One was an antidepressant called LTS, and with the hopes of the side effects causing me to stop spasming and less frequency at nighttime. A drug called Almiron, which is quite expensive, takes 4 to 6 months for it to actually start to work, and the side effect of that one was hair loss. The third one is a bladder installation with DMSO, which is a medication that they put into the bladder through a catheter, and you get that done once a week for 6 to 8 weeks at a time, and that can last up to a couple months, and then you go and you get topped up whenever you need to. And the last one was surgery, which was to remove my bladder and give me a new one by taking a section of my colon. These choices devastated me because they weren't permanent solutions, and they were going to compromise my quality of life even further. I ended up having the bladder installations because the other ones were worse. So I went ahead and did these for 6 to 7 weeks, and they did work for about 3 or 4 months. And then my symptoms returned once again. I was again having to get up every 10-15 minutes at night and go to the bathroom just to calm the spasms in my bladder. I was exhausted at work. I was exhausted every day. The symptoms were affecting my quality of life so badly, I was at my wit's end. I thought that this was just what I was meant to live with, and that there was no solution for me. I am very active. I enjoy hiking, camping, climbing, and I found that to go camping and share a tent with a group of people, I'm in and out of that tent all night long, and you disrupt everybody. And eventually you stop going on trips, and I stopped taking my hiking and camping trips, and I would climb in the mountains, and you'd have to get out into the -30 in an outhouse 40 times a night, and you need energy and you need to be alert, and I couldn't do these things anymore. And for a very active, healthy young woman, this was so upsetting for me to not be able to do the activities that I truly loved. I work as an RN, and I would work night shifts and shift work, and I'd be up all day long going to the bathroom after working all night, and it was exhausting for me. I ended up having to switch jobs and go to a day shift in order to try and get some more sleep and get some more rest. My children were young, they were busy, and I would find I would get irritable, I would get emotional, I would get short-tempered with them, and it wasn't fair for them. And I found I apologized a whole lot for a lot of things that just I didn't need to do. The impact on my family life and my relationships was huge. To have a partner and to keep them up all night long as you're in and out of bed every 10-15 minutes was horrible. I felt so bad every morning that that person with me had to be awake all night long as I got in and out of bed and grumbled and groaned and complained about being up all night long. And there was many nights that I would lay in bed and have tears in my eyes because I was so frustrated that this would not go away. My mom had told me one day about a new vitamin that she was given, and she said, why don't you try it? See if it helps. So many people were getting amazing results with this vitamin. So I thought, why not? I took the Live the Source for about 2 or 3 months and then let my supply run out before I had ordered more. I had gone about 2 or 3 weeks without it when I realized that my symptoms were really bad again. And it was at that time that I realized that the last month and a half, 2 months, I was not getting up at nighttime anymore, and I was sleeping, and my bladder wasn't hurting and it wasn't spasming, and I felt amazing. Because in those 2-3 weeks without the Live the Source multivitamin, my symptoms came back so badly that I was so upset that I didn't have this to fix it. It took about 2 weeks once I got my supply back in for my symptoms to alleviate and go back to the way they were. And I was sleeping again, and I wasn't up. I might wake up once a night, and it was amazing. I wasn't tired during the day. I resumed all my athletic activities, my hiking, my soccer, my running, my weightlifting. I could do it all again, and at the capacity that I have always wanted to do. This vitamin has become a way of life for me. I cannot imagine not having it now, because this has done for me what nothing else in the last 10 years was capable of doing for me. Medications, bladder catheterizations, nothing worked for me. But this multivitamin and all its herbs and minerals has done more for me than anything else. It has changed the quality of my life. It has changed my spirit, my mood, everything. I couldn't live without this. I now have both my kids, who are 10 and 7, very healthy, very active, athletic kids, taking this vitamin every day along with the vitamin D. And it is a part of our daily regimen that will never change. What this vitamin can do for people with bladder problems is unbelievable. It is life-changing. It is unspeakable what this vitamin has done for me. I have my life back. And I thought that the way my life was, by getting up every night and being tired, was just the way I was going to live the rest of my life, because nothing would work. This did, and it is just amazing. It has changed my life in every way possible for the better, and I am so appreciative of it. It is just unspeakable, and it is now a way of my life that I talk to people about, and I tell them about, and just say, you have to try this. It is just amazing. And that is my story of the Live the Source multivitamin.